Hey guys, welcome back to Up the Holler. On today's video, we're going to work on replacing some lawnmower blades on my John Deere mower. So you guys stay tuned and see what we can make happen on it. Let's sell this old John Deere here, along with some of the Graveleys and other things. This here, what I'm going to get into this evening on this is, I believe I have bent the blades on this. Down there where we was mowing at, it used to be an old building. They tore down, and man, I hit a big old chunk of concrete. When I shut the blades off, you could hear it hitting the deck. So it's either bent the blades or could have bent the side of the deck a little bit. But I picked up a new set of blades anyway because it needed them anyhow. So that's what we're going to do on this. Um, this has been a good machine. The backstory on this, I did buy this brand new back in 2010. She's got the Briggs & Stratton, 19.5 horsepower. I haven't really had any problems out of this mower. I did just change on the deck. I changed 2 idler pulleys on it a couple weeks ago. And other than that, one time I had this starter solenoid went out. Changed that, but that's really about it. Now she's getting a little rough around the edges. Got a little bit of rust starting on her. But still purrs like a kitten. Runs real good. Haven't had any major issues with it. I have taken that deck off a couple times in the time that I've owned the machine and like sanded it down, repainted it, try to preserve the deck. Because those decks, to replace one of these decks, you're looking at like $700 from John Deere to buy that deck new. So it pays to try to keep them cleaned out, spray some new paint on them, try to help protect them a little bit. So anyway, we're just going to jerk this old deck off here and swap these blades out. Now I'll try to show you, when I do these videos, I try to do kind of like a tutorial, if you will, in case somebody's watching this to do this themselves. So like I said, this is just your standard John Deere 115 with a 42-inch deck. And basically all you do to get this deck off here is you got this bracket right here, and you just pull this pin out. This is going to come out. Then you got this other bracket here. You're going to take that pin out. Same thing on the other side. And then you'll have one cotter pin in the front, and then you'll pull the belt off the pulley. And then you can slide it out. And then when you slide it out, this is your PTO cable. It has a little pin on it, cotter pin on the back side of it. Slide it out, then this will pull out, and you can unhook the spring, and the whole deck is disconnected then. So I'll try to show that as we're doing this. So after you pull all those pins out, unhook your belt, and you pull the brackets down off the frame, then you just get a hold of it, slide it out. Oh, yeah. You slide it out till you can get your PTO cable loose. So you pull the cotter pin out. This cable will come up, pulls out. You unhook that spring. There it is. It's out or off. Now you can pull the deck out. Pouring rain outside, so I hope the audio ain't too bad. Now we got the deck flipped over. You can see, we kind of look at this to see maybe, because this blade seemed to be all right, I believe. It's not hitting anything. This one here, though, when it would come around somewhere right there, that end is hitting. Not bad, but it is hitting right there. Now see, this end is not hitting but it is close. And it may just be this may be tweaked. Might have to just knock it over a little bit with a hammer. But like I said, I picked up some new blades anyway, so we'll go ahead and change these out. Okay, this is gonna be a 24 millimeter. What the nut is. Okay, yeah, it looks like that blade might be slightly warped a little bit. I don't know if that'll show up on camera, but it looks kind of bowed down a little bit. But it's definitely chewed up pretty good. Now I could sharpen these, but since it was bent, that's why we're going ahead and replace them. Let's see, I'll grab the new ones once I remember where I put them at. I'll show this to you guys. So maybe I just picked these up at Tractor Supply, but you know, it says right here that fits the John Deere tractors 102, 115, 125, 135, 100s, and 110s with 42-inch deck, and this is the type of hole it has in the blade. It's a star mounting hole. But anyway, yeah, these were about $60 from Tractor Supply. So we'll get these out of the package and throw them on there. The other thing is too, when replacing these, which I know it's common sense, but like I said, you know, I try to make some of these videos for people that may not know or may not have ever changed a lawnmower blade before. Make sure you put them on right, because they won't cut very good if you put them on upside down. So when putting these blades on, like I said, you know, you want to make sure you put them on there the correct way. This and that. You want, you know, you have your cutting edge here, and you can see how that tapers to a point like a knife blade. You want your cutting edge to be moving towards the discharge, because that's the way it carries the grass clippings and throws it out the discharge. That's really the only thing you need to know as far as getting them on. You know, as long as you do that. Now, I guess if you put it on like this, of course, this is upside down, but see, it'll go on there upside down, but yet, see, your cutting edge is not pointed towards your discharge. It's this fan side for the mulching part of it, and it's not going to cut right. And, you know, the blade does not exactly designate which is which, but that's how it goes. It's just like this. And, you know, if you're taking your factory blades off, just look at how this one is. And you can see which way it goes. Now, I'll show y'all a real good close-up of this blade, because this blade here is actually, it's wore kind of almost U-shaped. So that they definitely need replaced, whether they was bent or not. Then you have your washer, which this washer is actually it kind of has a curvature to it. So you want the protruding part sticking up. That way, when you tighten the nut up, it's actually holding downforce on the blade, putting pressure or tension against the blade. Now see, spin this around. See there, that one, it's barely touching right there. I think that this is just a little bit bent, so I'll just smack this with a hammer, and it should be fine. And on this particular deck, the blades are not timed. Some mower decks, the blades are timed, and when you have to look at the other side, like where your pulleys and belt go on, and they'll actually have timing marks and show you how you have to time it. If you don't time those right, then when the blades come around, they'll hit each other. But we don't have to worry about that on this one. See, this one's good. It don't touch nowhere. I believe what we're hearing there is actually, yeah, that sound was actually that pulley just rubbing the concrete. Thought had the bearing going down in. Trying to get that where you guys can see it pretty good. You see how that blade has that U shape to it? Yeah, this one's wore out. Plus, you know, you look real close, you can see all those divots in it where it's hit rocks and stuff like that. You see it's got the wire on that side too, kind of U-shaped. But this one looks pretty straight, so let's take a look at the other one. Now see, this one is not worn as bad. I mean, it's chewed up, but it does not have that U shape. Still got some dents and dings in it. This is the one, it looks to me like it's kind of tweaked a little bit. Okay, here's about the best representation I can do. I've got them laying on top of each other. And you come out here and you can see how that one on top is not laying on the bottom one. I mean, it's touching it all through the middle, but out here on the end, it's not. It's sticking up. And same thing on this end too. So that blade was definitely warped a little bit. Let's see if we can fix this here where it's rubbing just a little bit. Let's see. So when that blade comes around, right there, it's touching just a little bit. Let's take a hammer and try to. Oh yeah, we're golden now. That's all it took. Just had to knock that over a little bit. Like I said, that sound you're hearing is just where that pulley's rubbing the concrete. Well, I'm going to clean the grass out from under it and throw it back on there. About all there is on this video. Well, there it is, all back together. That whole job didn't take about 25 minutes to do. We'll fire it up and we'll back out here and turn the blades on. Make sure it don't fly apart. Looks good to me. Now, it's important to keep good mower blades on your mower. Not only does it help you cut better and all that stuff, but if you run around with a warped blade, you know, and you keep running it, keep running it, keep running it, and eventually it'll wear your spindles out, and you have to replace the spindles. Now, this mower doesn't particularly have a whole lot of hours on it, even though I've owned it since 2010, brand new. It's sitting on 231 hours. You know, it's always just been used here at home, and when I started getting some of the Gravely riders, This one here stayed parked a lot, and I just used the gravelies to mow with. But like I said, we've been doing some extra grass cutting on the side, so we've had to bring this one into service. So yeah, like I said, you keep your blades in good shape, keep good service, keep oil changed, all that stuff. I know a lot of people have problems with these engines. They'll leak around this drain tube right here, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Another thing I see it's pretty common is on this starter, this cable gets loose, and it causes you to have hard to start, or can eventually mess this starter up. But like I said, knock on wood, I've not had any major issues with this machine. This particular motor does have a decompression release inside it, and what that is if you have one of these and you have problems with it not wanting to start, like you go to hit the key and it just does this and it won't make a full revolution, like it's locked up, but you can take your hand and spin the motor. 9 times out of 10 it's the decompression release, and that is on the camshaft. And I have no idea why they decided they had to put something like that in this engine. It's on about all of them now. It just helps the engine spin over faster at startup. But anyway, that little thing can break, and so therefore the valves are fully closed when you go to start it, and the starter is not strong enough to turn the engine over. So to fix that problem, you have to pull the engine, take it apart, and replace the camshaft. But like I said, I haven't had to have that problem, and I think it's just because I do keep service up on it, keep good oil in it, and all that stuff. So I'm gonna wrap this video up right here. Like I said, I haven't had a whole lot of time to get there and doing videos, but I needed to come out here and change those blades. So figured I would get the camera out and do a little video on it, changing lawnmower blades, just to get something back out there for you guys. But give us a thumbs up and please subscribe. That helps the channel out a lot. And thanks for watching. Guys, I'm gonna show you one other thing I was looking at here. I was just getting ready to pick these blades up and throw them in the trash, and I got to looking here, and like I said, well, it's a good reason to check your blades and replace them. If you look right there, that's cracks in that mulching blade part. So you think you have something like that. I mean, I don't know how many RPMs these blades are spinning, but they spin pretty daggone fast. And you imagine mowing your grass and you hit a rock or something, and it hits that part right there and shears it off. That is going to go flying as a projectile, and your kids might be in the yard, but your kids shouldn't be in the yard anyway if you're out mowing grass. I try not to mow in grass if my kids is out in the yard, but anybody, somebody walking down the street or anything, that could potentially become a projectile to be thrown out of the lawnmower and hurt somebody pretty bad. But yeah, I was just getting ready to throw them in the trash and seeing that, and I just wanted to point that out to you guys. Just keep a good check on your blades.